Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Today, we are talking to Lana, keeping quiet. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. Well, except for, Angel Star, even though she's a good pathological liar, and the photo, which is pretty incriminating. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is the person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? I mean, clearly. Well, Miss Guy? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? Damon Gaunt? We were partners until 2 years ago. I am respecting him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gaunt's name was never mentioned? Chief Gaunt? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was... Me? I thought that was Phoenix, like me! It was me all along, Austin! No, I had access because I was in second in command to that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other. Damon Gaunt. If you intend to accuse Chief Gaunt, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gaunt falsified evidence in the case. Alright, Vaz? I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. I may have stole it, which is also kind of illegal, but here it is anyways. This is a jar piece, and this piece of cloth, which has Emma's fingerprints on it. You do know what these are. They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gaunt himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? I'm feeling it's something to do with Emma's fingerprints. Touchy, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Orders. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. As I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you are not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk lock was broken, and I discovered the murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this knife was stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave the knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Okay. Wait. Okay, so she wasn't putting the body in the trunk. The body was already there. She was removing it from the trunk? So he must have put the body in the trunk at the reward ceremony, right? And that's why he had Edgeworth return to the prosecutor's office? That seems about right. Probably. But why remove the knife? Was he hiding evidence? But why'd you call Emma and tell her muffler then? Also, Emma, if you've been, like, playing this the whole time, I'm gonna take your glue and cocaine away. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Dark case. Oh, if word got out, which it would, the reporter would have a field day with it. So you wrapped the knife into your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right, and then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You were calling Emma to cover up for you? You asked Emma. I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. So she knew all this all along? Oh, I'm so taking your glue and cocaine away. Good God, girl. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gaunt, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, good for him, I guess. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seemed he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. Well, good. Good job. That's pretty much the only reason we're here, I guess. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana... You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. I'm not an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Hey, guess what I'm gonna do? Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll save. Here. Booyah. February 25th. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something happened behind the scenes. Yes. Edgeworth. Knowing you already figured out who the owner of that 7's ID card number is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from the list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this, is it? Lana's hiding something. The only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in the court, Wright, whatever your name is, Rice Boy. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Ghana has on her, it's now. So, like, I might be a little mad at Emma if she's been hiding stuff, but she's not dead right now, right? Like, Ghana didn't kill her last night, because we definitely should not have left her alone with him. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is where the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gaunt? Morning, folks! How's everyone doing? Huh, Uggy? Have been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is with my work. Oh, that's a good one! Don't think I can top that! If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Haven't heard what she intends to say. I feel she should be granted a request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one last simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana. Objection? Exactly. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim has not changed the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your service. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. Yeah, most of the testimony has been, like, just shit, though. Maybe circumstantial evidence, but the testimony has been just, like, utter trash for the most part. The picture is pretty incriminating, though. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defense certainly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Objection! Edgy! One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, Oh yeah, Edgy! Huh. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gaunt. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me as some kind of deal is struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Huh, I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hear her testimony. Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. Representation, there we go. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gaunt? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my word. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Am I still here as the attorney? Didn't she just release me? Now then, witness. Am I playing as Edgeworth? Please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister. That's not a job, dog, and I want to be a scientific investigator. You're in school! Just say you're a high schooler! 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Now then, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Maybe. Who knows at this point? This trial's gone on forever. 2 years ago. I was waiting for my sister in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Niall Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Objection! Objection, Your Honor. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? Thoughts? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. No, but we do! Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Is Lana just there like, I'm self-representation! God damn it! Press? 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective of the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under the deputy chief of police Gaunt. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Judge is like, yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gaunt and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. That organ's been there for like 2 whole years. I mean, I guess that's not that strange. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held the ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man? Yeah, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Yes, because of the police being completely incompetent. Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He took the elevator? He ran out of the room in a panic, pushed the elevator button, waited for the elevator to arrive, boarded the elevator, pushed the elevator to the floor he wanted, listened to elevator music as he tapped his toes, waiting to take a hostage, ran out of the I'm assuming ran. He probably freaking strolled. Oh man, he must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Skye and Gaunt's office. Oh, okay, so it was by accident. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gaunt and Prosecutor Niall Marshall. I almost forgot about Gaunt. Niall Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Awards. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would be also why he was first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. and that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on dark. Just then, the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yeah, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim. I mean, I guess we want to hear more, right? So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yeah, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture? This picture the witness drew, I believe it was a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I said I would mind. Please don't do that. I drew a picture of the scene once, but it seems that it had been lost. I think I have it. But I'll press you anyways. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, but I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? But I did draw it, I swear! I'm just not imagining it. I'm not just imagining it, not imaging it. This picture that Emma drew. That reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyways, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image on your head. Can you please describe it to us? The man. No, he didn't. It was in his back, but press. That must have been a real shock. I don't know why. I can just picture Phoenix being as condescending as possible, saying that to Emma for some goddamn reason. Like, oh, that must have been a real shock to you, Emma, huh? Yeah? Seeing him stabbed in the chest? Objection! It was in the back! Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Doc was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but she is. Well, Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as this as she can. Okay, so we started over. Okay. So we're either showing her the picture here, or we're showing, I believe, the autopsy report, right? Stabbed in the back. And you're to blame. You're lying, Emma. Stop playing these goddamn games. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement. Oh, did I... Wait, what? Whoa! Wait a minute. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Shipped? Yeah, bullshit. That is bullshit. This is bullshit. Stabbed in the back. Stabbed in the back. You say stabbed in the front. That's no. Bullshit. Give me my life back. Judge, you son of a bitch. This is a contradiction. You goddamn liar! Is Gaunt paying you off too? Or blackmailing you? I don't know what the hell's... I think he's blackmailing Lana because of Emma's prints on that glove. Not glove. What the hell is this? Piece of cloth? So... like, I have a feeling... like... he's gonna... like, Emma might have done it. Which kind of sucks because she's a 16-year-old girl. Do they have juvenile in this game? And maybe Gaunt? No. Why would he try to cover her up then? Wait a minute. Yeah, hold up. Why would he try to cover it up then if Emma did it? I can see Lana trying to cover up if Emma did it. What do you think happened, Chronos? What I think happened is... well, what I initially thought happened is this dog was killed by his trophy by Gaunt. But we found Emma's prints, so maybe I was thinking during the dark or something, Emma freaked out and accidentally stabbed someone. And might have been Marshall. Because her prints are on this. But why would Gaunt cover it up? Maybe, fatherly affection, brotherly affection than Emma? Probably not. So maybe he actually did kill Niall. Maybe he's trying to blame it on Emma. And that's how he's getting Lana to actually work with him? And then he killed Goodman because... I don't know. Oh, because he was trying to keep the case going, I guess? Maybe? Sure, I don't know. Okay, well that's bullshit though, game. This is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. You're wrong. I mean, do you want me to show the picture then? Where is the picture? Is it here? Yeah, okay. Do you want me to show the picture? Because the autopsy and her statement is a flipping contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence. Huh? You like... Hey, I'm not the bad guy. Yeah. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Well, it was the one that was never revealed. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What is this? Yeah, yes, what is that? Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew! Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. These lists. They're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case was ever reached you. What? What? Order! Order! But Ms. Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Was he in on the covering up? If this list is torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. I have high blood pressure. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Hernia! Oh, sorry, Your Honor. There's indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. Oh, God damn it. Dots? That's... that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this is an act of vandalism this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Dots? Huh? Oh, yes, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at that picture. She always seems to be thinking, Emma's picture! Well, we'll find out next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, press like below. If you're not subscribed yet, one of my videos, I can check out some of the content, see if it's to your liking. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great day.